Calculate the shaded area of this shape. So we're trying to figure out the area of this blue section on the inside. So step 1, find the area of the unshaded triangle first. So we see that we have a little triangle stuck onto the side of our blue shape. And very important that we see this little symbol here that represents a right angle. So we know we have a right angle triangle. And in order to find the area of it, we need to try and find the unknown lengths. So all that's given to us in the question is that this is 13 and this is 12. So we know this is 12 from over here. This represents the perpendicular height of the shape. So this is 12. So where did this 5 come from? So what we're going to do to find out where that 5 came from is use Pythagoras' theorem. So we're going to draw the triangle out separately down here. We're going to label it A, B and C. Very important that the longest side, which is the hypotenuse, gets labelled as C. The longest side is always across from the right angle. It doesn't matter which way you label the other two sides so long as they're A and B. Then we're going to write out our formula, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. This is given to you in the formula tables for Pythagoras' theorem. Then we're going to substitute into our formula. So the c gets swapped for 13, and 13 squared is 169. The a gets swapped for 12, and 12 squared is 144. And the b just stays as b because that's what we're labelling our unknown length. So we have b squared. So then we're going to bring the 144 over the other side of the equals because we want to solve for b. So we get 169 minus 144 equals b squared. 169 minus 144 is 25. So 25 is equal to b squared. And the square root of 25 is 5. So b is equal to 5. So that's where that 5 centimeters came from. So now that we know all the lengths of our triangle, we can use the area of a triangle formula, which is a half times base times height. So the base is going to be 5, the height is going to be 12, and we do not use the slant height for the area, so we do not use the 13. So half times 5 times 12, 30 meters squared. So we know now that this little triangle is 30 meters squared in area. Step 2, now we're going to find the area of the whole shape, which is a trapezium. So the outer shape, we need to find the area of this. So the formula for the area of a trapezium is a half times a plus b times h, or the formula that we see in our formula books is a equals a plus b over 2 times h, which means the same thing, but we're going to work with this formula because that's the one that's given in the formula tables. So the a and the b represent the parallel sides. So if I was to draw my trapezium out down here, I can see that the 5 plus the 25 gives me 30 meters across the top. I still have 20 meters across the bottom. So these are my parallel sides, so they get labelled as A and B. It doesn't matter which one is A and which one is B. So they're going to get added together. They're going to get divided by 2, and they're going to be multiplied by the height. It's very important that if you're putting this into the calculator, in one go, which you really shouldn't, you should do it out step by step, that you put brackets around whatever your h value is, because if you were to input into the calculator, for example, bracket a plus b, which is 30 plus 20 over 2 bracket, and then just stick on a 12 without brackets around it, you'll get an error on your calculator. So make sure that the 12 gets brackets around it. So either way, you're adding together your a and your b, which is going to be 20 plus 30, which gives you 50, multiplying it by 12 and then getting half of it or dividing it by 2. So that's going to be 300 meters squared. So the area of the shaded shape is going to be the area of the outer shape, which is the trapezium, which is 300 meters squared, minus the area of the smaller triangle, which is 30 meters squared, and 300 take away 30 leaves us with 270 meters squared. So the blue part is 270 meters squared.